What's your favorite part about coming to Penn State every year? And obviously aside from Beaver Stadium, what are your favorite things to do here in State College?
If you follow me on Instagram, you will see I went record shopping yesterday. They got really good vinyl here at State College. So I would really suggest you guys go and check out the vinyl scene here at State College.
Right now Penn State is number 7 in the AP rankings.
Yeah.
Just curious, from your point of view, is that too high, too low, or just right?
Well, I think at this stage of the game, now we're starting to play some meaningful games. So it'll start work itself out. I don't like to get all, wound up about where a team is ranked right now. I think 7th is pretty solid for them. But as we're starting to get into now the thick of their schedule, things are starting to really shake out. We'll see who belongs where.
It does. This is the 3rd consecutive year GameDay's been here. Obviously, a winning product helps, but what else makes State College an attractive venue?
Yeah, well, winning. Winning and not many good games that weekend. Yeah. This is probably the biggest game this weekend. This isn't LSU, Florida. We probably wouldn't be here. So, all those things factor into the decision, obviously. But the bottom line is James Franklin's done a fantastic job with this program. His players have gone out there and played extremely well, and they deserve the opportunities that we give them by coming here and giving their campus a lot of exposure. They've earned it. Yeah.
Desmond, I love the suits, right? The suits that you wear.
Oh, okay, those suits. Yes, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
We're a weather company, we're telling weather stories, AccuWeather.
Okay.
And so in relation to the heat and the cold, how do you choose those suits?
That's a very good question. I normally choose the suits by the fabric and by the, if it's a 3-piece or if it's a 2-piece, if it's a lighter fabric, things of that nature. And then, tomorrow, depending on, like today is a perfect day. This is like great football weather. I hope it stays like this. And then I don't have to put on the overcoat and the scarf like you're wearing, sir. Yeah. Other than that, I don't really like the cold, so there's no problem with me bundling up.
You're from Michigan.
Well, I'm from Cleveland, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Went to Michigan.
Yeah.
But now I live in Miami. The blood tends to thin out a little bit. Yeah.
This is the 3rd biggest city on game day in Pennsylvania. What are your thoughts with everyone coming out here tomorrow?
Repeat that. It's the 3rd biggest.
It's the 3rd biggest city in Pennsylvania on game day.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
How exciting!
I'm just trying to answer the question.
110,000 people all of a sudden arrive in this small little town.
Yeah.
What kind of experience is that for you, to come into that environment and the energy?
Yeah.
What kind of experience do you think it is for the entire ESPN team?
Well, there won't be 110 people at our show. That's a KJ Hamler question. Those guys play in front of 110,000. For our show, we just hope to get a nice crowd, which we normally get because the fans here are very passionate about their Nittany Lions. They love their team and they support Franklin and his team. So we expect to get a nice crowd tomorrow. We look forward to it, and it just adds to this the program, the game day program.
Penn State fans are familiar with Josh Gattis now at Michigan. How do you assess Michigan's offense and the job that Josh has done there so far?
I think this is work in progress. It hasn't been anywhere near where I think they want to be, but it's bigger than Josh Gattis, I think. All he can do is call the plays. The players got to go out there and execute, and they're accountable for what they do once they get on the gridiron. So to me, it's always bigger than the coach. But obviously, he's the new addition to the coaching staff. He came with a lot of hype coming from Alabama, changing the system. But what people don't understand is anytime you completely change a system, it takes a while for the players to get into a rhythm. And there are going to be some bumps and some bruises and some obstacles along the way that you got to overcome.
Desmond, Michigan has had a little bit of a tough start to the season. What do you think they really need to do in tomorrow's game to really help prove themselves in the Big Ten race?
Win. That's it. If you can win here at night, the whiteout changes the whole narrative. It could be a 1-point victory. Changes the narrative.
Des, can you evaluate Sean Clifford's performance to this point of the season, and does he remind you of any other quarterbacks?
Well, I think that when you look at Sean Clifford, I want to see him against better competition. To me, the 2 times that he's played against better competition was the Pitt game because Pitt just doesn't give a damn about Penn State. They're going to come here and punch you in the mouth. And then the Iowa game. And in both games, the offense only scored 17 points, far less than what they were averaging against other opponents. So with that being said, I have to see him against better competition because he just hasn't been exceptional or great, only good against defenses that can offer some sort of resistance.
Des, what are your thoughts on Penn State's defense and where they stack up nationally?
Wow, I tell you what, that group is scary. Man, they got a lot of talent. They got some freaks, and their front seven is really strong. Not impressed with the secondary. I think they're still trying to figure that out. But once your front seven is as dominant as those guys are, then quarterbacks don't really have time to pick apart your secondary. So it's a scary group, man. They're very, very talented, well coached, and their front seven is probably as good as most front sevens in the country.
Last one.
You were at Central Michigan when it was snowing.
One more time.
You were at Central Michigan 3 years ago when it was snowing.
Correct. Yeah, game day was there. It was
chattering,
outstanding. We had to row the boat there. Yeah,
was that your worst experience in the weather?
You know what?
With this show?
No, it was. You know, optically, it looked beautiful because the snow was falling. The fans did not leave. Like everyone stayed there. And I think for us, as hosts of Game Day, if you look out in the crowd and everyone's still there, it energizes you and it helps you to just stay there and just plow through the rest of the show. So to be honest with you, to see that scene set that day was very inspiring for us and was and helped us get through the show. It's actually a beautiful scene, to be completely honest with you. When the snow's falling like that, yeah, that was. I'm glad you brought that up. That was good. Were you there?
No, I just looked it up.
Oh, you watched? Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah. It was
Perfect. Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Guys, thanks for coming out here this afternoon. Have a great weekend.